All right, today we're going to take a look at ENV cube maps. So what these are going to do is allow your map to have proper reflections. And, some of your maps might not have reflections, but we're going to put these in anyway because they're part of kind of the optimization of our lighting. And so if you end up having, a combine vehicle drive through or water or something like that, this will ensure that it creates proper reflections. Now, they are static reflections. They're not real time. And what it does is it takes this cube map and it takes basically pictures which it can then overlay onto the reflective surfaces on your map. So I'm going to show you how to place them and how to get them to run. And then depending on what's in your map, you may or may not see any drastic differences. However, some of the props in the game do have reflective surfaces. So these cube maps will ensure that those items don't turn out with that, like say reflecting a skybox when they're inside or something like that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at our map, and generally speaking, you're going to put one cube map per room. So if you've got like a room and a hallway and another room, each of those is going to be considered a separate room. So you would put one in a room, one in the hallway, and then one in the other room. When you have areas that go outside, we're going to transition to the outside. So we would put cube maps in the room, and then we would put cube maps in the outside. And generally, we're going to put them near the center of the room, as close, or the hallway, or whatever the space is, in order to try to get the best reflective qualities out of them. So I'm going to put a few in here, kind of show you how they work. I don't have a ton of reflective materials in here, but the process is the same no matter how you're working on your map. So step number one, we're going to go ahead and we need to place these cube maps at a certain height. And so they need to be at the height of the player. All right, so in order to get the proper height, the player's eyes are 64 units above the ground. So the easiest way to do this is to make a little block using your block tool, and it does not matter what the block looks like. We're just going to put that block with a height of 64. Okay, so it doesn't matter what the block texture is as long as you can see it, because we're just kind of using this block right here as a measuring stick for moving up the cube maps. All right, so we're going to make that block, kind of set it off to the side for now. Then we're going to go to our entity tool, and you're going to type in env underscore cube map. And we're going to find kind of the center of the rooms. Now, I've got a few spaces in here, so I'm actually going to use a few in this area. And I'm going to kind of center it in each of the areas. So I'm going to break this room up into a couple pieces. So I'm going to put one here. I'm going to put one here. And I'm going to put another one. There's my Ring doorbell. I'm going to put one here. And then with this statue, because it might have reflection on two sides, I'm going to go ahead and just put one on each side of it. All right? And then maybe I'll put one up here just for good measure. All right? So if you have too many, you might get a few weird reflections, but all you have to do is take them out and recalculate the cube map. So it's not a huge problem if that happens. All right, so now we need to raise all of these to 64. So here's a trick for doing that. So I'm going to take this little block that I made. Oops, not that. All right, I'm going to take this little block that I made, and I'm going to move it over here by where that cube map is at. Here. And the block is going to end up getting deleted, so you don't have to really be too concerned with it. but I'm just going to kind of put it right here because I want to be able to raise this cube map up to 64 units, which is the top of this box right here. All right? Okay, now I'm going to show you how to move all of the cube maps at once. So first, let's go to Tools, Options, Two-dimensional views, arrow keys nudge selected object vertex. Check that box right there. Click Apply and then OK. Okay, so I went Tools, Options, 2D views, check this box right here, click Apply, click OK. Right? Then we're going to go to Map, Entity Report, and this is a list of all the entities in your map. If you select your cube map, hold down Shift, and click the last one, it's going to select all of your cube maps. Close this window, and you'll notice that now we have all of the cube maps selected. All right, now once you do that, you should be able to take your up arrow and tap on it, and it's going to raise all of these cube maps. So if you look around my map, you can see all of the cube maps are lifting at the same time. And I'm going to get this cube map right to the top of this thing here, so its origin point is the same. So it's pretty much going to be halfway, so right there. Okay, so we want it to be right there. And you'll notice all of my cube maps raised up 64 units off the ground. All right, so one more time in case you missed it. I went to Tools, Options, 2D View, arrow keys nudge selected object vertex. Check, Apply, OK. I went to Map, Entity Report, click on your cube map, hold Shift, click on the last one, close that. All of these are selected. Then your arrow keys, up and down, will move your cube maps. And we're going to take these cube maps and I want to raise them to 64. So that's what this little block is for right here. So 64 is going to be right there. All right. Once you've done that, we don't need this box anymore. We'll delete it. So now all of my cube maps have been raised to the player's eye level throughout the map. They're all 64 units off the ground. We're going to save our map, and then we're going to go ahead and compile it. All right, map is compiled. Now the map will start running, and we're going to enable cheats. So SV underscore cheats 1. Press enter. That enables cheats. Then we're going to type in build cube maps. Press enter. You're going to see the cube maps go through and it took all the pictures and everything that it needed to do. All right. Now I don't have a lot of reflective stuff on here, so you may or may not see a whole lot, but we're also going to type in mat underscore reload all materials. Get a short lag, and then it's going to say re-downloading all light maps. Then we're going to disconnect. All right. Then you load any map you want, so any of your other maps, because the cube maps won't show up until you reload your map from the menu. So we have to load another map and then go back to our map. So once you load the other map, so I loaded this guy here. Now I'm going to reload my original map, the one that I was just working on. And then if you have any reflections, they should show up pretty good. Like, those look fine. I don't really have a lot of reflections in this particular map. But that's it. So if you have a lot of reflective items, reflective props, glass, those kinds of things, this will fix all of your reflection problems. All right? That's it for today.
I'm going to leave. Have a great day.